Hello, everyone. Welcome back to English Pro. We're continuing with our English lessons on YouTube. Today, we're going to focus on intros, know how to introduce yourself, know in different settings, different circumstances also, no? So, we're going to be using PPTs for today's class. Okay, well, here we go. So, here we have, for example, a nice little social gathering here. Okay, probably could be at maybe could be at work, for example, or maybe it could even be at a more formal get together or after work, maybe reunion could be. So here we can see that people are more formally dressed. Yes, so you can see that people here are probably dressed to go to work, right? So people are wearing, for example, um, more formal pants, formal shoes. She's also wearing high heels, right? So this is kind of more of a formal setting, no? And then there's also a word in English called casual, or sorry, semi-formal. This is not casual, semi-formal, no? So because here his shirt is out a little bit, he's not wearing a tie, for example. Yes, usually formal is more like a suit or a tie, maybe even a blazer can be seen as more formal, but no one is wearing that. But definitely they are not casual, not casual. Okay, so once again, people getting to know you. Okay, so our goals for today are to ask and answer questions about personal information, to introduce yourself, to talk about where you come from and what you do. Okay, so for example, we have different types of social medias, no? Or social media where we get to know people, no? This is more common now than it is before, right? When I was younger, for example, many years ago, it was seen that social media was not even around. It wasn't a thing to do, right? So here we have, for example, nowadays, we have Facebook, Instagram, Twitter is one way how people interact with one another. No, that's very important way to look at it, right? Some people like to use Facebook, some people like to use Instagram, and some people like to use Twitter. Of course, there are other ones like TikTok, etc., right? Or even maybe there is another one called WhatsApp, right? Another social media. So, do you have social media networks? Because I want you to think, do you have social networks? No, which ones, right? So, you would answer by saying, yes, I do. I have Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. hmm So, remember, always answer in English with a full sentence, right? It sounds more professional, it sounds better. Okay, what information do you include in your social networks? Okay, do you include in your social networks? I include, right? So we're using a prompt here to help you to answer properly. So I include pictures, right? Could be even maybe videos, right? Could be videos, for example. So this is a good way to answer. Okay, so let's look here for a second. So here we have, hey Matthew, I need to send you a document. A document. No. What's your email? What's your email? Okay, so for example, this is one of my emails. Okay. In my country, there are different types of cities. There are different types of cities. Okay, so I live in a big city, but my friend lives in a small one. Okay, so you're describing where you live, where you live. So, for example, some people live in the city, in a city. Some people live maybe in the suburbs. The suburbs are just outside of the city, no? Many times, like here, for example, many times people leave the city and they commute, they travel from the city to the suburbs to get home. Some people want less noise, less interactions, to be honest, even less crime, maybe, in the major cities, for example, right? So these are the reasons why people move to the suburbs. But also, you have outside of the city, you have, for example, the countryside. hmm So now, how do we kind of describe our birth, right? So when we are born, how would you say this, right? So you would say, for example, my grandfather was born in Genoa. He was born in 1917. He was born in 1917. Okay. So I was born in La Punta Callao. hmm So here we have, for example, that's my hometown, and I think it's a wonderful place. Hometown is the city where you were born. So I ask you, where is your hometown? Where were you born? Maybe you were born in Calcutta. Maybe you were born in mm, Greece. Okay, but the city, maybe something a little bit more specific. Maybe you were born in Warsaw, for example. So you can write down your hometown in the chat if you so desire. Okay, so let's continue. Okay, so here we have, here we have what's called a social setting, right? Social setting. So what social setting is this? What do you think? Is this in the park? No, not in the park, right? Okay, so this is right. This is probably at work. Okay, so this is a meeting, for example, right? A meeting. And remember in the beginning of the class, I mentioned that there's more formal wear, informal, casual, right? So this is probably a little bit more formal, right? Formal or maybe even semi-formal. There's a mix, right? Because he is wearing a suit, right? Or a blazer. I think it's more of a blazer. A blazer is a less formal suit. He's wearing a sweater, okay, and she's also wearing a blazer, what looks to be a blazer. So as you can see, he looks like he is a client, right? That he is a client and he is here to, he is introducing himself, right? He is introducing himself to the lady. Looks like he arrived to the company, right? And he has, maybe he wants to sell something or he has a proposition, right? Maybe he wants to discuss an important point, right? To the other employees, right? Employees. Or maybe, who knows? No, maybe he is a new member to the team. Could be. Maybe he just got hired. hmm So that is something that we can also look at, right? So maybe everyone is happy to see the new team member. Yes, team member. So here we go. So obviously everybody here is happy. And here in the back we have what's called stickets, no? These are called little, basically you write your information here just to remember, no? These are called stickets, no? Stickets, all right. Okay, so you just write down important information so that you don't forget. So here we go, right? So what you saying? Hey, where were you born? hmm So maybe he's coming outside, right, from a different area. I was born in Hongdae, South Korea. It's my hometown. Okay, so let's move on now. Let's look at interests, right? So when you introduce yourself, you could talk about some type of hobbies, right? What you like to do, right? So I prefer to study language. That's my favorite subject at school. I'm interested in language and art. Okay, so I ask you, what are some of your interests? What are some of your interests, right? So here we have, for example, history, civics, right? Physics, maybe, no? Science, English, biology, chemistry. Wow. And of course, we have here math, right? Geography also, right? So maybe you have your own interests, right? Maybe you like to read books about certain topics, or maybe you have a wide ranging uh, set of interests, right? Maybe you are diverse in that sense, right? Maybe you like to read about many, many things. Hmm. And then, of course, we have to be clear, right? Interest is something that's not what you are actually, your career, right? Or what you are studying. Of course, that is, you are interested in it, but usually your interest could maybe go outside of what you're studying, right? We have to look at it like that also, right? So, for example, maybe you are studying chemistry, but you are interested in history. Mhm. Your interests. Okay, so here we have an artist, right? She is, what is she doing? What is she doing, right? She is painting. She is painting. Hmm. She is very much concentrating on her painting, right? And behind her, she has other paintings, right? Paintings. For example, she is also in her studio, her art studio, right? This looks like an area where she likes to do her work, correct? Very good. Hmm. Yes. So she is interested in art and painting. She is interested in art and painting. Let's continue with the PPT slide. So here we have occupation. What do you do? We work as baristas at the coffee shop. That's our occupation. Okay, your occupation is what you do for a living, what you do for a living, right? So she is a barista, right? And here, this looks like a law firm, right? They look like lawyers, right? Um, Most likely, not for sure, but it kind of looks like a law firm in the back, right? Law firm is like the space, the actual area, right, where the location where they are actually working. Mhm. So these are lawyers, right? Most likely. Oh, what does she do, everyone? She is a, what is she? She is a doctor. Yes, she is a doctor. So she went to medical school. So she works as a doctor. That's her occupation. Okay. Yes. Okay, let's continue. Now, let's move on to question about your occupation, job and studies, and question about your hobbies, right? Remember, these are two separate things, yes? So, what you're studying and what your job is, right? So, what do you do first? You study, right? So, let's say you were in high school and you decide, you talk to your parents and you say, okay, I want to become a doctor, right? So you just, oh, next day you're not a doctor, right? Impossible, right? You've seen that you're interested in it. You're good at sciences. You're interested in helping the sick. Okay, fine. Also, could be also for the money, could be, right? It's a well-paid job in most countries. But so what do? You decide to study, right, to become a doctor. So what do, right? Either in some countries you have to pass a preliminary test, and then you after high school and you go directly to medical school. And then there's other areas, or sorry, countries where you have to what? You have to, yes, you have to study 3 or 4 years of a bachelor's degree in science, right? So you have to show that you can maintain a really high score or grades, high grades, and then you have to apply to medical school, right? And you have to take some type of exam also, right? That demonstrates that you are good at logic, you're good at sciences, etc. Right? So then and after, these two things are being assessed, and depending on how well you do, you are accepted into medical school. So this is like the series of events. Uh-huh. This series of events. Okay. Now, now we have also hobbies. Hobbies are different, right? We have, for example, photography, painting, music, bicycling, traveling. Hmm. Um, maybe playing an instrument, right? Listening to music could be also playing. Maybe you like to play the guitar, right? Or maybe you like to cook. Uh-huh. Maybe you like to cook, right? So these are all different types of hobbies. These are like interests in a way, right? Things you like to do. Mm-hmm. Very, very good. So I ask you, what are some of your hobbies? What do you like to do? Mm-hmm. And you say, right? And what do you do, right? You could say in kind of a informal way, what do you do for a living? You can say, right? And what do you do for fun? So, yes. So you can say, for example, I like to ride my bicycle for fun. What do you do? I am a lawyer. I am a doctor, right? So these are things that um, we have to distinguish. Yes, there are two types of things. Okay, and now here we move on to a web page, right? We can also introduce ourselves and let people get to know us through websites, right? So here we have look at Sylvia Webb's web page, right? Right now, it's mostly, well, people still do have web pages, but a little bit more common, you can post on social media, right? Your information, your bio, contact information, right? But anyways, right? So here we have, for example, general information. She likes to play music. She likes to listen to hip hop. Subject, she's studying photography, and the sport she does or that she likes is tennis. Friends, Yumi and Mateo. And her name is Sylvia Costa. She was born in Salvador, Brazil, lives in Sao Paulo. Her birth date, mm-hmm, November 17, 1991. Studies at the English Institute and works at World Cafe. Okay, and here we have her email. Remember, Sylvia at, for the Spanish speakers, arroba, it's at. Uh-huh. Linkbook.pbr. And here's her number. Okay, and here we have, for example, um, let me just put this over here so we can see it. Okay, so here we have, for example, born, city. Okay, let's listen to the pronunciation. So repeat after me. Born, repeat. No, city, city. First name, first name. Hometown, hometown. Job, job. Last name, last name. Phone, email address. Friends, friends. Interested in, interested in. Languages, languages. And subject, subject. Okay, so for homework, class, you can properly put in the correct target vocabulary into the questions here. Okay, and you're more than welcome to put your answers into the comment section in YouTube. So, questions about your favorites. So, I'm going to ask you, people, who is your favorite singer? Right? Madonna. No, my favorite singer is. My favorite singer is. Mhm. Who is your favorite actress? My favorite actress is. Mhm. My favorite actress is Michelle Pfeiffer. Who is your favorite teacher? My favorite teacher is Miss Smith. My favorite teacher is Maria Villalobos. Right? What is your favorite color? Blue. Okay, but in a better way, in a nicer way, you would say my favorite color is blue. What is your favorite movie? My favorite movie is The Godfather. What is your favorite song? My favorite song is La Bamba. It's not. I'm just using it as an example. Okay. Okay, so here we go. So here we have what's your name? You can fill this out. No, what's your last name? Where were you born? Where do you live now? What do you do for fun? What's your favorite subject? How many languages do you speak? So I've been interested. What else? Do you speak English, French? Do you speak Polish? What languages do you speak? What's your cell phone number? And what do you do? Okay, so this is a good way to practice for you. No, you can fill out this form, or maybe you could take a screenshot and put it on a Word document and do it. No, and practice like this. Okay. Yes. Additional question. And who is your favorite actor? Mhm. Perfect. Okay. Ask and answer. Okay. So use the questions in B and your own information. Okay. What's your first name? What's your first name? It's Debbie. It's your turn. Okay. So you can practice. Maybe you have some friends who you're practicing English with. No, you can always use this to um, role play with your friends. Okay, on a piece of paper, create your social profile. Include your personal information. Okay, so she is Carmela Romero. Interested in, I like to dance, house music. I love to learn about history. About me, I was born in Santa Fe, Colombia on April 28th, 1998. Okay, well, let's move the screen over here. So, contact information, carm98 at soda.com. Telephone 12 555 2289. Okay, so here we have all of the important personal information. And the last one, she lives in Montevideo. She studies at USS College and she works at TKK Radio. Okay, so try to fill something out like this for yourself. Yes, it's a great step forward. No, if you can get this information down. Okay, this is important for if you want to write a CV one day in English. This is essential information. Essential information. Or if you want to do a bio in Facebook in English, right? For example, you want to have maybe a Spanish page and an English page, or for whatever reason, right? It's important to have this information and to know how to use it. Okay, so let's see here. Okay, so talk about your best friend. Use the learned questions. Okay, so tell me, think about it now, yes? You can tell me a little bit about your best friend. What's your best friend's name? Okay, what is it? Think about it. Maybe your best friend's name is David. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay, so here his or her name is David, Debbie, depending, right? Maybe it's a man or a woman. Mm-hmm. How many languages does he or she speak? Right? So let's look always at the prompts. She speaks. She speak? No. She speaks. Where is he or she from? Okay, so what do we do here? Where is he or she is from? Maybe Spain, Bulgaria, Russia, Greece, India. What is his or her hometown? His or her hometown. Oh, we're missing an E here. His or her hometown is. Mhm. What does he or she do? All right, what does she do? Remember, we talked about this before? What does he or she do? Maybe she is studying to become a lawyer. Maybe she is a doctor. Maybe she is an engineer. And what does she or he do for fun? He likes to run. He likes to exercise. He likes to play the guitar. Okay, so he, she, and he, she is interested in. That's a nice way to say it. He or she is interested in. Intros. Okay, let's look a little bit more here. What do you say when you meet a person for the first time? Do you say, "Oh, I make this amount of money"? Hi, nice to meet you. I make $1 million a year. Not really, no. Hey, how are you? Oh, I am a Catholic. No, right? When you meet someone for the first time, you usually just introduce yourself, right? You say, for example, uh, when I meet a person for the first time, I shake their hand. No, I say my name. What are the people doing here? What are the people doing? Uh-huh. What are they doing? They are, yeah, shaking hands. Shaking hands. Yes. As you can see here, right? They are shaking hands. Hmm. What do you say when you meet people? Okay. So what do you say? I want you to think, brainstorm some ideas. What do you say when you meet people? Okay. And what do you want to know about a person when you meet him or her for the first time? Okay. Maybe where they live. Hmm. Maybe where do they study, perhaps? No, something that's not too personal, right? Something a little bit more general. What area do they live in, right? What country are they from? Something a little bit more general. Where do you live? Tell me the street number, right? Give me your phone number. No, right? No, not right away. Later, maybe, right? Later. How are you? Nice to meet you. Oh, something general. No, oh, it's a nice day today. Hmm. Do you live far away from work, for example? No? If you meet them for the first time at work, right? Or if you meet them at the university, where did you meet? Oh, great. You're studying. What are you studying? Oh, great. And what do you want? What would you like to do afterwards? Oh, you're studying entrepreneurship. Ah, so maybe you want to start your own business. Ah, what idea of a business do you have? For example, right? It depends on the context. Okay. So once again, hi, nice to meet you. Introducing yourself, asking about occupations. My name is, hi, I'm, nice to meet you. Nice to meet you too. What do you do? I'm a or an, etc. Introducing yourself to someone you already know. Hi, Maria. Do you remember me? I was your co-worker at UPN. Jorge, I remember you. You were in the same project floor. Of course, I'm with Miss Luna or Mrs. Luna. How are you doing? I'm fine. I'm okay. I'm still on the floor. I'm still working with Mrs. Luna. Oh, um, I've changed floors. Now I'm maybe on the fifth floor, etc., etc. Okay, so this is a nice conversation with someone who you're not, who you already know. Hmm. Formal. Mr. Smith, I'd like to introduce you to Andrea. Mr. Smith, I'd like you to meet Andrea. It's very nice to meet you. It's nice to meet you too. Informal. Pete, this is Betty. Pete, meet Betty. Pete, Betty. Hi, or nice, good to meet you, right? Or direct. Informal is a little bit more direct. You too. No, let's go back here, right? So it's very quick to the point. Hmm. When you forget someone's name, it's best to be direct. I'm sorry, I'm terrible with names. I'm sorry, I've forgotten your name. Don't worry, I'm Jim, Tom, Bob. My name is a cooler way introducing others. Hey, Matt, have you met George? Hello, Brad. No, I haven't. Hello, George. It's good to meet you. Hi, Matt. It's nice to meet you too. Improvise a conversation. Introduce yourself. Ask five or more questions. Answer your partner's question as well. So, in the chat, in the comment section, you're more than welcome to ask five or more questions. What questions would you like to ask a partner? What are you interested in? Really? What languages do you speak? Okay, so let's move along here. Asking about occupations and introducing yourself. So here we go. So obviously they're new young workers. No, they're just starting at a new job. No, they're very excited, I'm sure. No. Hello, my name is. Hi, I'm Tim. What do you do? I'm a maybe engineer, accountant. What about you? What do you do? Mhm. Cool. I'm a maybe secretary or maybe HR. Okay, and then you can ask more questions. Business etiquette. Okay, so I'm going to put the video here on for extra work for you. Okay, so you can answer these questions. Yes, based on the video, what are important points to consider in a meeting with American clients? In a meeting with American clients, it's important to also, finally, what are some unusual business etiquettes around the world? What do you think about them? Well, in Russia, people, furthermore, in China, and finally, in my opinion. Okay, so I'm going to leave this in the chat. I see that there is a wide range of students watching the videos. We can just maybe we could set up another meeting and we can discuss it, right? Depending on how many people watch the video. Okay. Okay. And also important to ask follow-up questions. Yes. Follow-up questions are an important part of conversation. They are questions related to what your partner already said. Remember, follow-up questions work better with WH questions. Do you have a part-time job? Yes, I do. What do you do? I work at a bookstore. How long have you worked there for? When did you start? Mm-hmm. Oh, why did you decide to work there, right? WH questions. These are follow-up questions, are questions that you want a little bit more information. I work for I work for Fidelity Investments. Oh, why did you decide to choose there? Why did you decide to choose that corporation, right? I work for Google. Great. When did you start, right? Follow-up questions. hmm Okay. Yes. So make yes or no questions. If the answer is yes, ask a follow-up question and write extra information. So do you have a part-time job, right? So I'm asking you. You would say, yes, I do. Oh, great. What is it? Um, do you travel? Sometimes I travel. Oh, where do you travel? Okay, likes listening to rap music. Do you like rap music? Not particularly. Okay, so you can say, why not? Oh, I don't like the beat, the lyrics, a little too aggressive. hmm Is a university student. Oh, you are a university student. Where do you study? For example, play soccer. Oh, what sports do you play? I play soccer. Whoa, why do you like soccer? What is your favorite team? Okay, so these are ways that you can ask follow-up questions. Okay, perfect. Okay, class, thank you very much for um, listening to our second lesson in the series. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask and make sure to like and subscribe. Good luck. See you at the next one.